This is my speech. A game within a game. How high school sports have shaped community and identity. Submitted on March 3rd, 2026. So first, the introduction. Growing up, I was always a big enjoyer of Friday night football games. I remember going to them every single day, or every single Friday in fall growing up, and just the amount of people that you would meet and the amount of people that you would connect with on a daily basis because of going to those events really built connections that I guess launched, further things that you do later down in life, like in high school. So learning to belong community is very important to me. Like I've always played sports. I've always done different extracurricular activities that have helped me maintain a stable relationship with my peers. So for my thesis, high school sports shape community identity by creating shared traditions, building connections, and reflecting values of hard work. So through my years of sports, I realized that it's not just about it's winning, but it's about, the connections and relationships you build with people that can be cherished for years to come. So defining my own culture, I played youth basketball for 6 years, I think. I played high school football, high school basketball throughout high school, and I just think that those have helped shape me to become the person I am today. Another thing that I was very involved with is friend group sporting events. Every once in a while, maybe once a month, me and my friends will play sports, whether it be football, basketball, or even just like fun activities we'll do. And that's like an extension of high school sports in a way, and how it can help build connections that'll help you later on in life and build your social skills. So types of communications and rituals that you would do in sports that connects with culture would be really anything that has to do with the sport. So practice, like post-game rituals, like say, here at the Mount, you have, like after a football game, everyone will go to the middle and say the alma mater. That's a pretty common one that most schools do, but that is a ritual or style of culture that brings people together, and it's just like known around the community. Like I said, daily practices, team building hangouts. Like if you were on a basketball team and say you'd go to someone's house, you'd watch film, you'd hang out there. That's like an example of something that you would use as like a ritual to like accentuate the team building, I guess. All right, so point 1, culture through storytelling. So teamwork and success, they don't go hand in hand a lot of the time. It's sometimes when you don't want to, when you focus too much on yourself, you find yourself getting out of a rhythm and affecting the team. So at least when I found, growing up, I always wanted to be the guy that would, especially youth basketball, like score the most points, right? But a lot of the times that is not the way to go about when you want to win. So one of my points is teamwork over individual success. Another thing is loyalty to the school. When you, especially in high school, I feel like nowadays it's a little different for like college, but at least still in high school, I feel like the tradition and culture of kind of going to a school, staying there 4 years, and like kind of becoming that school, like making that your cultural identity. That is a very real thing, and I feel like even today with the idea of like transferring schools to, I guess, better your situation, there's still a lot of culture in that. It's not completely dead. So it also shapes like hard work and discipline. Obviously, through my life, I obviously worked really hard at a young age at sports. I was always at practice, always at trainings. So, yeah. Sense of belonging and identity. So, teams have always made me feel belonged. As a young kid, middle school, I wasn't the guy with a ton of friends. I was always like a little bit of an outcast. I feel like I started playing basketball, youth basketball in 5th grade. And I kind of remember becoming better friends with people in the grade because of basketball. And I feel like it's a very real thing. Not just like making friends, but feeling like you're wanted, especially on a team. Like if you're feeling wanted on a team, that's going to translate over to the school life. So teams often feel like second family as well. In my opinion, I think it's kind of like a home away from home in a way. So you also learn valuable leading skills through your time in sports. That can help you later on, but we'll get into that later on as well. So a quote that I have from my personal interview was, I interviewed my dad. He used to play sports growing up. He said, "A team is the closest thing you can get to a second family," which kind of goes along with the second family point. But basically what that means is no matter what you're doing or who you're with, you always have that kind of team group that you can always fall back on. So it is really like a second family. Yeah. Okay, change perspective. So if you've never played sports before, I feel like that is a big disadvantage in life. Handling pressure is one of the very most important skills in the world today. You're going to be faced with pressure in almost everything you do when you grow up, and playing sports is going to really accentuate that need. You work with tons of different personalities on a day-to-day basis. When you're playing sports, and you have to learn to work with them. Leadership, accountability, problem solving, those are all skills that flow together in a team environment, and that's kind of like the culture of a sport, of a team sport, or all those values we talked about. All right, so main point number 2, the hidden layers of culture. So one of my biggest cultural objects that I think that sticks out to me is basketball medals and trophies. I think having a place for those in your room and kind of a place where you can look back on, that's really important. And it means a lot to me because it shows the people you were with, it shows the hard work that you put in, it shows a ton of different things, and only the people who participated in that will have that. So you're going to be the only kid with that specific trophy right there. There may be millions of them in the world, but that means something to you, and that's your cultural object. So yeah, I think cultural objects are very important when it comes to like what stuff means in a culture. If you look at things like memorabilia, like say a dude scored his first touchdown in a football game, he's going to keep that football. That's kind of like the same thing, because it's that culture of like that it was your first one. Personal meaning, I just kind of went over this, but the trophies have personal meaning to me because it really shows like the hard work and dedication that you had early on in your life. So it symbolizes my childhood. If I'm waking up 20 years old, going to college, and I see those trophies, it'll make me not sad, but it'll make me reminisce about the times of playing sports when you're younger. I really do think it means something. It shows your past mistakes. Connection around the world. Sports are always growing and changing. Every day there's different cultures, different norms being set because of the different sports that you are playing. Teams are everywhere. Cultural meaning. So the trophies basically just represent the long hours, sense of unity and pride, shared struggles, and it connects people. Because like I said, you and maybe the 10 people on that team are going to be the only ones with that trophy. Main point 3, impact on my future. Keeping team values relevant. So when you get a job in the future and you are applying for different positions, the skills that you learn while playing a sport, the cultural skills that you learn while playing a sport, are going to always help you in the future. So I think it's very important that everyone at least everyone needs to have some form of culture in their life in order to feel like wanted. Feel like you're part of something. And helping others. That's a big one as well. Dreams and goals. So when you're looking at, trying to chase a dream or a goal, it's important to, for me specifically, keeping discipline from football, using teamwork skills from basketball, just continuing to use values that, valuable communicational skills that you've built along the way, and learning from those around you. Cultural phrase. So a big cultural phrase of mine is treat others the way you want to be treated. And this is not a big thing only in sports, but it's a big thing in a lot of cultures. I mean, different religions, different social groups, that. It's called the golden rule for a reason, and I think it really applies to sports as well. Treat others how you want to be treated, because you never know if you're going to be the guy messing up. So if a teammate messes up and you shame him for it, well, it's only fair if you be shamed for it next time as well, right? I just think that's a very important rule, especially in sports and all cultures. In conclusion, we talked about how you need to prioritize teamwork over individual success. Objects and traditions that shape how cultures are seen around the world. So different different rituals and objects that represent stuff in culture. And a sense of belonging when young can shape your future as you grow older. Anyway, sports overall greatly benefit the person I am today by teaching me the values of hard work, determination, and importance of relying on others. I think a good thing to end on is high school sports don't just create athletes, they create